G'day folks, this morning I'm going fishing at the Winton wetlands. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. This is the Winton wetlands. Well, this is a part of the Winton wetlands called the Borrow Pits. The Winton wetlands is a huge area made up of something like 30 or 33 wetlands and swamps. There's one just on the other side of this ridge, and that's connected to the main wetlands right out in the middle. There's another Borrow Pit up there. Of all the wetlands and swamps that make up the Winton wetlands, this section here, the Borrow Pits, is the only part that is permanent water. I'm pretty sure this is where they took the gravel out to make the old Lake McCowan wall years ago. You can see there's a big wall just there, and that's because this used to be Winton Swamp. Then it was dammed up with a 7-kilometre wall to make a huge big shallow lake called the Winton Wetlands, called Lake McCowan, which was later decommissioned and returned to the Winton Wetlands, which it is now. So today I'm fishing in the Winton Wetlands in the Borrow Pits, which I know I've got a lot of carp in them because I was walking along here the other morning and I could see carp swimming around near the edges. Now the plan is I want to catch a few carp, and I want to know what happens to my carp after I catch them when I leave them on the bank. So I'm not going to leave them on the bank here where everyone's walking past. I'm going to go over there to where those trees are, and I'm going to dump my dead carp, if all goes to plan, in front of one of them trees, and I'm going to set up one of my game cameras on the carp and see what comes along to see what they are. See what comes along to eat the carp or steal the carp. Anyway, I'm only fishing with one rod, and I'm going to be using corn for bait. I'm using a system that worked very well for me at Lake Murimi recently, a paternoster rig with a really small hook and one corn kernel cast out in really shallow water not far from the bank. I could heave this all the way out there into the middle of this lake or pond or borrow pit or whatever you want to call it. But what I found when I was walking yesterday morning along the track, all the carp were swimming along in the shallows. They had their backs out of the water, it was that shallow. So I don't see the point in casting too far out. All that, he's on there. Oh, look at the size of it. Nearly pulled the rod off the rod holder. I'm on the board. And that's sort of what I was expecting to catch. I might get a few larger ones, but I'm not expecting anything really big. Just because this is what I've seen making their way around the shallows. If I can get 8 or 9 of them, that'll give me enough to sit in front of my game camera. Wondering what that noise was. A kangaroo went screaming behind me. Got him. It was bigger than the last one. Aha! Here's a better size for me game camera. Here's a, I don't know, maybe a 28, 29 centimetre carp. There's a turtle with his head out of the water just over here. There'll be plenty of them in here. Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da. It's Beatles o'clock, and I think I better put my sunglasses on. And take it and got him. Tiny. Oh wow, look at the size of that one. He'll go on the stack. This is turning out to be easier than I expected it to be. And got him. Another one. They're coming in thick and fast. Oh, come on, take it. Got him. Oh, Carpio, another one for the pile. Boom, boom, boom. Another one for the pile. Here come a couple of black swans. Beautiful birds. Should have I got my good bird camera here. Should have it out now. Imagine getting a photo of them silhouetted against the sunrise. A couple, there's 2 there. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. 8 black swans. Just check my bait. Because there's a fish on here, that's why. I was going to say, because I took my eye off my line for a couple of minutes. It's better just check. Number 6 for the pile. They are coming in thick and fast. In the winter months, carp and crayfish make up the bulk of my videos. And I'm kind of hoping that this spot might just provide me with a bit of winter fishing this year. Lake Murimi is probably the spot that I fish the most. for winter carp. But I reckon this spot has the potential to be every bit as good, if not better, as a winter carp fishery. Got him. Tiny. Straight on the pile. Come on, take it. Got him. Oh, a bigger one. Hey. Biggest one today. Still probably only 40 centimetres or so, if that, but it's bigger than anything else that I've caught. The biggest fish on the pile. There we go. Biggest one of the day. I'll put it next to me rod for scale. Right, so there's 7 on the pile already, the biggest being about 40 centimetres, give or take a little bit. Probably only been here half an hour or a bit over. They're going mad. Big. I missed a bite. I heard a bird and I took my eye off my rod for like 2 seconds. Gone. Oh no, still there. No, he's gone. Did he take me hook? Yep, snap me. Bugger! No, well, there are big ones in here. I was just going to say, I took my eye off my rod for 2 seconds because I heard a bird. I looked around to see what it was. I looked back at my rod's going, trying to make its way into the lake. Thankfully, the old U-Butte, Simon Humphrey U-Butte fishing rod holder saved my rod. Now, that big monster snapped my hook off. So what that means is that my drag's probably a bit too tight. Problem is, if I loosen it, then I'll hook a small fish and it just pulls drag and I've got to tighten it again. Or I'll hook another big fish and there's not enough tension to set the hook in its mouth properly. It's a real balancing act trying to get that drag set just right. Got him. Oh, I lost him too. Oh, 2 in a row. Sloppy. Got him. I've lost the last 2. Let's see if I can land this one. We're back to a bit of normality here with the size. Bit of bump, bump, bump. Another one for the pile. Another bite already. It's only been in like 2 minutes. Not even that. 20 seconds probably. Wouldn't have been in 1 minute. Probably 30 to 40 seconds. Oh, he got off. Another one. He didn't get me corn. Got most of it. I'll put it back out. Tell you what, if you're looking for somewhere to take the kids that's a bit of fun, this is the spot you take them. The Winton Wetlands, borrow pits, tin of corn, close to the bank, in the shallow water, can't go wrong. I've already got enough there for my pile, but I want to make the pile bigger. Plus I'm having too much fun. This is a lot of fun. Knew it wouldn't be long. And got him. Oh, bigger one. Not as big as the big kahuna that I lost before, but still a larger one. Probably the second largest one this morning. Perfect size for the filleting board. Got him. Yeah. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Got him. I literally just put that in. That wouldn't have been in for 10-15 seconds. I put it in, then bang, another one on. There's no shortage of carp at the Winton Wetlands at the moment. Got him. Oh, it's a bigger one. Loosen the drag a bit this time. Loosen the drag a bit this time. This is going to be the biggest one today, I reckon. I don't think it feels as heavy as the one that snapped me off earlier, though. No, it's not as big as the one that snapped me off earlier. But it still is the fish of the day. If not, it's if it's not the biggest one, it's the most energetic one. Oh, it's quite a large fish actually. There's a lot of small fish in here at the moment, but there's some bigger ones in the mix. I've got my drag set quite loose, but I've got my thumb on it while I'm reeling it in. So I sort of put my thumb on the drag now, leverage it in, reel in the slack. That way if it bolts, all I've got to do is just let go of the drag and let it take line. Like that, let go of the drag. So I'm essentially controlling the drag with my left hand, like that. Well, one extra fish now is going to make the pile, is going to double the weight of the pile. One big one. Biggest one by a mile. Biggest one on the pile by a mile. Look at that, that's about 1 hour's work. It's just gone 7 o'clock. There's probably, I don't know, 14 or 15 carp in there. They are going crazy at the Winton wetlands at the moment. Oh, got him. Oh, it's another big one. Whoa. It's another big one. Good, I wanted a couple of, this is bigger. I wanted a couple of big ones. This is quite a big fish, I think. This one certainly feels very heavy. I think this is even bigger than the last big one that I caught. What? Look at the size of that. That is enormous. It's a whale. I think I just caught the granddaddy of all these little ones. This is huge. I'm only using, I think, 4 or 5 pound line, so I've probably got a 10 or 15 pound fish. So I've just got to be a little bit careful. At least here there's no snags. If there is, they're only just little bits of grass and stuff. And swim all the way across the other side if it needs to. I've got plenty of line, plenty of time. This fish ain't gonna win this battle. This is enormous. I wanted a couple of big ones because when I go and put the carp in front of the trail camera, I just want something that small birds can't fly away with. This is heavy. Oh. You probably can't see a great deal there because I'm looking straight into the sun. That's big. I'm going to guess 70 centimetres. Oh, I haven't got a tape measure with me. I've got one in the car though. When I catch this, I might leave my rod out, carry a few things back to the car, because I'm going to go and set my game camera up after this now anyway. I was at that, just sitting there thinking, one more fish, just one more fish. And the one more fish I got is absolutely enormous. I'm going to put all these fish that I've got here in a supermarket bag to carry them over there. I don't think this one will fit. That's incredible. I'm going to have to get my feet wet to land this. I'm not going to be able to drag it up. It's going to get beached before it's reachable. That's incredible. That is a very big carp. Look at the size of it. This is where I've got to be carefulest. That is just absolutely enormous. Don't splash me. I asked you not to do that. Oh, that is amazing. Ugh, look at the size of that. That's incredible. That is enormous. It's not just big and long, it's big and fat. Oh, that is one of the biggest carp I've ever caught. My longest is 78. I reckon this is going to be about 74 or 75. But this is fat. It is so fat. That is amazing. Well, I've just been to the car and got a camera. Now that I've walked away and come back, I'm going to downsize it, but I reckon it's going to be 67. It's just so fat. I'll line it up with that tail, which is about there. Oh no, 73. Well, might have been a bit more than that. I'll go up that end. 73. 73 very fat centimetres. Well, I'll put it out of its misery and then go set up my trail camera. Ain't no seagull gonna fly away with that. I'll count these as I put them in. I've put 5 in.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
14, 15, 16. So I've got 16 including that whale. I might wet this bag and just try and get a bit of dirt off them somehow. This bag weighs so much that one of the handles is about to break. Ugh, one of the handles has broken. Alright, there's the pile. Righto, we're set up. It's the camera's on. There's the game camera down there. It's strapped to my Simon Humphrey U-Butte fishing rod holder and / game camera support system. There's my pile of 16 dead carp. My only concerns are I don't want a bird to land on that because that might knock it forward and then it won't film anything. And the main walking track's just over there, so somebody could see this quite easily. But this is why I use cheaper cameras. I'd love to invest in a more expensive, much better quality trail camera. I've got 3 of these, and they're cheap. I would hate to have a $500 or $600 camera stolen because people do steal them. At least if they steal this, it's not even a $200 camera, so the risk is a lot less if it's not worth as much. Anyway, let's leave that there and come back. I'd like to say come back tomorrow, but I've got a funny feeling my patience isn't going to let me do that. Let's try and leave it there until tomorrow morning and hope it doesn't get stolen. Well folks, it's the morning after. It's been 24 hours, actually. It's been about 23 hours. Hopefully my camera hasn't had a Frankie Lane moment. Stolen, 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 stolen camera! Good news, the camera's still there. The camera and the fishing rod holder, everything is still there. It hasn't been touched. Bad news, it doesn't look like the fish have been touched either. They haven't been spread out. This could be a bit of an anticlimax. Maybe there's absolutely nothing on the camera. Let's check and have a look. They haven't been spread out. This could be a bit of an anticlimax. Maybe there's absolutely nothing on the camera. Well folks, that was a little bit unsuccessful. The fishing was successful, the trail camera wasn't successful. There were 75 files and they're almost all from swamp hens walking around in the mud, and one kangaroo taking off in a panic because I spooked it as I walked in. The fishing was successful. The carp with the game camera not so successful, but overall I had a lot of fun, and that makes it very successful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.